And here's something I saw that was rather unique. Talk about inequality in the workforce these days, and I beg to differ because a girl made $2 million as the Queen of Sexting on OnlyFans, and she gives tips on how not to be a creep when sexting.
Oh, so she sex other people and well,
oh yeah,
you know how you don't sound creepy when you sext is you just don't be a man. It's not creepy when a girl does it.
No, it's not.
If a guy does it, it's always creepy.
Well, I guarantee you, if she's making $2 million on OnlyFans, she has a team of guys doing the sexting for her.
You think?
There's people that talk about that all the time. There's OnlyFans like workers where they apply and they do this for very low wages. Will sit on there and they'll do all the messaging from OnlyFans accounts. So it's probably just dudes talking.
Are they hiring?
Are they? Yeah, it's like this sounds like something we'd be pretty good at, right?
Yeah, man, I can get creative.
She's a former makeup artist, 35. She wrote a book called The Sexting Bible, and she thought OnlyFans was tacky a year and a half ago, and then she realized that she can make some cash from it, and then she became the Queen of Sexting. She was doing it for 16 hours a day. When I started my OnlyFans, it was during the pandemic. I didn't have anyone to do content with.
This is the Gary V of sexting, bro.
Yeah, she is the Gary V of sexting.
Damn, and this is her?
This is her. I developed sexting skills, and I needed something to stand out. So she used her OnlyFans empire.
And she is just being herself?
Apparently.
And she's just sexting with...
She has sexting sessions that last 30 to 40 minutes, $200 to $1,000. Would you pay somebody on the internet $1,000 to text dirty shit back and forth to?
No. You could do that with the old AIM profiles. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. You could do that with whoever. And now she spends 5 to 8 hours a day texting 10 regular clients that she calls her boyfriends, but she hasn't met them in person.
Jesus Christ, that's great money.
Exactly.
Maybe we should rethink this podcast model.
I think that we should just do it live on OnlyFans and just give people sexting advice. Here's her dues.
Man, I wish we could read some sexting from people and try to analyze it.
We could just go over it as if... I mean, we were talking like if it's a guy on the other end of her, sexting, basically sexting dudes, he knows how to talk to dudes, right? So
he knows what the fellas want.
Yeah, she gives some advice here about what to do. Be open, create a story, have patience, don't send any dick pics, don't send messages that are too long, make conversation about everyday stuff, whatever. So how about like if you were to be on the end of one of her sexting, let's say you pay $1,000 to do a 40-minute sexting session.
But it's like, are you even getting naked pictures or?
I bet it's all SMS, just nothing but sex.
People have there's pornography out there. Like this just seems like to pay for any of this sort of stuff seems so crazy.
It does, yeah. Well, let's imagine that you're paying for sexting and I'm Amber Sweetheart. So how would you open up?
I'm not gonna role play with you. Literally role play.
We should charge money for this part of it. We're gonna do.
This is going up on Patreon.
Yeah. So,
dude, even the thought of that makes me sick. Dude.
I'll do a reverse roll. Here we go. All right.
And so all right.
I just open it up and I'll just be like, "When was the last time you had any lawn edging done?"
I would say. I would say fuck you. I was trying to think of
I'm thinking that if it's too
weed whacker.
Yeah.
God, man, I am.
Well, I'm thinking that if it's a guy on her end of it and a guy knows he's talking to a guy, you can just start basically baiting him with the guy stuff. So you can just be like, oh, so like, what's your gamer tag? Like, tell me what your gamer tag is.
Yeah, but they're gonna just turn that sexual. Yeah.
So you just talk about straight, just like dad culture stuff.
Like I assume that was a euphemism for pubes.
Oh,
when
okay.
Did you cut the lawn? So I was trying to think of something, and like that's how dumb I am. Like I thought.
It sounds like you might be right to be running her OnlyFans sexting operation.
As I'm available.
See, I would go in there and just do straight up, just like, so do you wear socks with your Crocs or no?
Like, can we maybe do something more sexy here? Do you like your soup hot or mild?
Yeah. How do you like your steak done? It could get really, really graphic from a man's perspective.
It's always going to be graphic from a man's perspective. Dudes are creeps. Dude, all dudes are creeps.
All dudes are creeps. And that's what she said, was not to be a creep. But she didn't really offer up a lot of advice on not to be a creep. It was a lot of stuff that was pretty standard.
Yeah, it's like, did she have like any commandments that she listed? Like, thou shall not
She's like, be as open
send
as
a
you
hog shot.
be as open as you can. Create a story asking about my day. Have patience and imagination. And then she said, don't send dick pics. Don't be aggressive don't be aggressive or steer the conversation in a way that makes the person feel uncomfortable.
I should be doing this, dude. I would be perfect for this job.
What would you assume if somebody was sexting you? If a dude was sexting you, what would you say? You would say it was something that would make you uncomfortable. What would
Was something that he would say to me?
Yeah, what would he say to you that you'd be like, that's uncomfortable?
I think a lot of guys probably just fire off a hog shot, like without even saying anything. I'm sure that happens all the time.
It has to.
And to me, it's like you're gonna lose immediately. That's a losing battle.
Yeah,
you can't just fire off a hog shot. Trust me, you can't just do that with no context. Like she said, you build a story or something. You can't. Nobody even likes looking at that.
Yeah, exactly.
You really got to work up to that, because that by itself with no context just looks like an alien.
Yeah. And then it's just some guys take it over the top. They think, oh, I'm not going to send a hog shot, so I'll just send a message that's really long and passionate. And she says, don't send messages that are too long. So I'd immediately be out of it, because I think right off the thing, if I'm trying to get to know somebody, I would send them a 3-paragraph, basically a novel that I already have saved in my phone about why Shrek 2 is better than Shrek 1. And that would just immediately turn Amber Sweetheart off.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be willing to have that kind of conversation. And I feel like we should spend $200 to see what it's like.
Maybe.
And just have a normal conversation.
We'll run it by the girlfriends and wives and
see if we can get them if we can get a hold of their credit cards. I would love to, do this as an experiment for the pod for research purposes.
Yeah.